Okay, welcome to episode 2 of my podcast. The funny thing is, I still have not come up with a name for it. I know last episode I said I was going to come up with something, but yeah, I'm still struggling. Right now, I'm just naming it 12 startups in 12 months, followed by the month we're currently in and the week we're currently in that month. So right now we are in month 2, week 3. So let's just get straight into it. We have a bunch of things to cover in this episode. I have um, a list of questions that I've written for myself because unfortunately we do not have a co-host, so I have to basically talk to myself, which is kind of weird, but I'm getting used to it actually. And I actually really enjoyed the last episode, and I watched it maybe twice, which is a bit weird because I'm basically just watching myself having a conversation that I already know what's going to happen. But anyways, so let's get into it. So we're in month 2, week 3. And last week I launched Beastboard, which is the app we built in month 1. And now for everyone who doesn't know what Beastboard is essentially a custom iOS keyboard that uses the ChatGPT Whisper model. So it's really good for dictations. And the reason I built this is I hate texting. And the iOS dictation, I was hoping would be like a good solution to not wanting to text, but it's just really bad. It's just horrible. It never gets it right. It makes one mistake, which means I have to go and delete everything and like rewrite it. It's just horrible. But ever since I started using the dictation feature in ChatGPT, I noticed it's immensely more accurate. And I think the reason is because it's using, well, it's not, I think, it's using an LLM behind the scene with the Whisper model, which basically means it's understanding the context of what you're saying. And even if it thinks it's heard you say something else, it will change it to what fits better within the context. So I basically built an iOS keyboard extension that uses this model for the dictation, and I've been using it every single day. It's actually one of the apps that I've built that I've used the most. I use it at least once a day when I'm sending a long message, and yeah, it's great. And I guess I was hoping when I launched it this week, people would have the the same need for something like this that I did, because I guess I do believe in a world where if you build something perfectly for yourself, then there's going to be multiple people that are like you that would want that thing too. So I made a video on my Instagram. I have 200,000 followers on Instagram, so it's like a really good place for me to test new products that I create. And yeah, the video flopped. I'm laughing, but this is actually a laugh of pain. I actually got really depressed when the video went out. I went to the living room. We have a carpet on the floor, and if you see me lying on the carpet, you know something really bad has happened, and I'm super depressed. And yeah, I put the video up, waited. There was a part of me that was just hoping that, oh my God, people are just going to go crazy and think this is something I've always wanted. But yeah, I think it's been nearly a week the video's been up. It only has 90 something likes. It has 40 something thousand views, and that's because Facebook sometimes just blows up the views in my videos. But yeah, and I basically in the video put comment link, and I'll send you a link to the product. And a few people commented. I'd say maybe like nearly 20 people commented for a link for it, which is like not the worst, because initially when I posted it, no one commented for like the first few hours. So I thought, oh my God, this is a complete failure. And yeah, I was very depressed. Um, and I guess this is the risk you take when you put yourself out there and you build products and you make videos about the products you make. I need to like get comfortable with feeling the depression and negativity that comes with this. I mean, that's the whole point of doing 12 startups in 12 months. The whole point is that I get used to this and I'm just like, I can just do it, feel the pain, get going again the next month and just keep going over and over again until something works. Yeah, so in terms of actual metrics, I actually just checked the revenue cut, which is the subscription wall I'm using for the product, because the product is paid, of course. 4 people started trials, 1 has converted, and it's $40 a month. Yeah, I believe, yes, $40 a year, sorry, not a month. Oh my God, $40 a month for iOS keyboard dictation tool. 2 canceled their trial, and I'm not really, I guess the problem with revenue cut is I don't have access to the people that have actually started the trial. So I can't exactly email them. I should be able to. Maybe if I build something in the app, I'll be able to like do the tracking better. But this is learning for next time. I need to build something into the app so whoever signs up to a subscription, I have their email and I can contact them instantly and say, hey, what happened? Why did you cancel your trial? And I have someone else that also started the trial again today. Um, so it's not the worst. At least there are some people that have paid for it. Um, and yeah, I'm just kind of confused because usually when I build something that people don't use, it's because I've built something for others and not for myself. And I feel like this is the first time I've built something perfectly for myself that no one seems really excited about. So I'm pretty lost. So if any of you have seen the app or check it out on the App Store, I'll put a link to the description on YouTube if you're watching it on YouTube, and on Spotify if you're listening to it there. Maybe you can like give me some feedback on why you think it's not blowing up as much as I expected. One feature that a friend of mine suggested, which is interesting, which I could add, um, is some sort of translation. So I live in Madrid and I don't speak any Spanish. Crazy. So sometimes I have to send text messages in Spanish, and usually I convert it um, to Spanish in an app called DeepL. But what would be cool is if you could speak and choose what language you want it to convert it to. And the detection would just basically spit it out in that language. So you're speaking English and it's spitting out in Spanish. So a friend of mine that also lives in Spain and doesn't speak any Spanish suggested that feature. I think it's cool. I don't. Again, I can't think for everyone else because I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot of people in the same situations as us living in a country where they don't speak the language. But it could be an interesting thing to work on. So yeah, that's on pause in my head right now while I'm working on app number 2 because we are in month 2. Um, and one thing I've realized that I don't want to do in this series is I don't want to just like launch an app and forget about it and just move on to the next app. So I want to still go back. If I find that there's a way that it can be improved, I want to still go back to the previous apps and quickly throw some improvements and then see what happens. Because I'm building 12 startups in 12 months. I'm not just building 12, I don't know, quick products that I'm not going to care about. So I actually want to put a lot of effort into them. But yeah, so that's the first big update. I'm pretty sad from that one. Getting over it now. Um, but yeah, pretty sad. That's the most I can say. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but yeah, it really hurt me. Anyways, moving on. So for the second app I'm working on, it's called Free Up My Mac. I discussed that in the last episode. It's essentially a disk scanner that scans your Mac, shows you how space is being taken up by different files and folders, but most importantly, tells you if a file is safe to delete or keep. Now, the reason I built this app in the first place is um, I have 1 terabyte on my Mac, and because I'm constantly making content, my Mac gets filled up all the time from all the videos that I'm putting in there. So I constantly have to clear up space on my Mac, move things up to off to my external hard drive and so on. And something I noticed a long time ago is that my system data takes up around 300 gigabytes of space, and really it should only take up 30 gigabytes of space. And I looked into it. I mean, I looked into it for months. It was something that was actually really hard for me to figure out. But what I ended up finding out that actually successfully reduced system storage, or the system data storage, is if you go into your like library folder, you start seeing a bunch of folders that belongs to apps that should have been cleared but were not cleared properly. So for example, I had a screen recording that I forgot to end. So it just ended up not ending successfully. And when I closed my Mac, the I guess unfinished system data, which was like 30, 40 gigabytes, was just sitting in my system data. And Apple doesn't really tell you about these files because they're in system data, so it thinks they're protected. So yeah, essentially what this app is trying to do is basically help people navigate system data by using AI behind the scene to tell them this is safe to delete, this is not safe. If you delete this, this is what's going to happen. It's going to affect this app, allowing you to basically clear up your system data very quickly. So I finished building the first version. I built a really sexy landing page. I'm gonna like overlay that in the video right now. I'm very proud of the landing page, and I actually learned something really, really important while I was building the landing page. I'll talk about it in a bit. But yeah, I was very proud of the landing page. I posted on my Instagram story asking for people that wanted to test the app, and a bunch of people reached out to me. This actually gives me some hope because with the previous app, Beastboard, when I posted about it, no one really sent me anything. Like, it just felt like no one really cared about what I was building. No one ever said, hey, that looks cool. But with this Free Up My Mac, I feel something from the world. Like, every time I tell someone about the app, they usually say, oh, that's cool. I actually have that problem right now. So I have more hope for this. And again, it's something I built for myself. So Yeah, I've got one of my friends to test it so far before I send it to other people I don't know, and he made a really nice video for me showing me what could be improved. And something he said that I still don't know how to solve, and I guess I don't really have long to solve it because this is week 3 and I have to basically launch it by next week. But maybe I can quickly build something tomorrow. He basically said when he goes in to the app, it's not very clear how to navigate it. Like I don't instantly tell him, hey, here's a bunch of files or folders that are taking up space that are safe to delete it. Now he has to like navigate around and kind of like spend some time doing it, which is how I built it. I built it for that case. I wanted people to navigate around and just like make the decision themselves. But I can see how it would be a lot better if after the scan, I basically just like grab all the files or folders that are the largest, do my AI scanning on it, and then just show it in a widget somewhere and just say, yeah, these are files or folders that we found that are safe to delete, that are on your system data that are taking up space. So maybe I could build that. It is a bit risky to try to like throw that in last second. But I think I could. I'm going to think about it more. I have like the whole of tomorrow to plan it and figure it out. And yeah, so in terms of the landing page, what I was mentioning earlier that I said made a huge difference. This is like something I just take notes. If you're making a landing page, just do this and you're just gonna have a sexy landing page. Basically, I'm using Framer to build my landing page. And usually I usually take a video of my product using Screen Studio. You've probably heard of that app before, but it's a cool app that allows you to like zoom into just do like cool zooms while you're showing your app in use. And the resolution I use is either 1080p or 740 or 720, whatever it is, I forgot. And what I find is when I put down my landing page, if I go for 1080, it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be like 6.2 megabytes, which is not great to put on a landing page because it's gonna be slow for it to load, especially if someone's using mobile data. And then when I make it too small, it just doesn't look great. And sometimes I go on people's websites and they have videos on there and it just looks so sexy. And I always wonder how have they made their videos look so good and it's loading very quickly and the file size is very small. So I looked into it, I did some deep dive, and I basically found out that if you compress the file, you can basically set what bit rate you want. And essentially bit rate is, a way to put it is that it's basically like the data that is used to make up the video. So if you reduce the bit rate, you're basically saying use less data to make up this video. Now here's the thing I didn't realize. When you take screen recordings, you actually don't need that much bit rate because the colors are almost perfect. There's no grains. Whereas when you have video recordings, there's grains. So you need a lot more bit rate to be able to capture all that. So what I did is I basically used a software called Handbrake. I set my bit rate to 392 of a video I'd already made on Screen Studio. I set the bit rate to 392. I also reduced the encoding to the slowest. So if you reduce the encoding to the slowest, you're basically saying take as much time as you can, find the most efficient way to like pack this video into the like bit rate target that I've set. And I did that. I had a video that was 6.2 megabytes and it literally got compressed to 900 kilobytes. And I literally could not tell the difference between those two videos. Like it looked exactly the same. But anyways, I popped that in the landing page and now it just looks great. It's just nice. It loads very quickly. And yeah, this is something I've always wanted to figure out. And I don't know why it took me so long to understand this, but yeah, that was super useful. And in terms of how I'm pricing it, so in terms of pricing, let me just open the website right here and see the pricing because I also wanted to just share that. And if anyone has any opinions on how I should price it, let me know. So my biggest competitor in this space is called Clean My Mac, and I essentially just copied their pricing because I don't really want to revolutionize anything here. Like the price is not what I'm trying to beat Clean My Mac with. I'm trying to beat it by saying, hey, we scan your computer and we also tell you what is safe and not safe to delete, as opposed to Clean My Mac, which doesn't do that. So right now what I have is $28 a year, which is like $2.35 a month, or $6.96 a month. So the reason I put the $6.96 a month is it's basically an anchor. I don't really want anyone to pay monthly for it. But if you put a price that kind of looks expensive and then you put something really cheap next to it, which is $235 a month, people just think, oh my God, of course I'm going to get a yearly one because I have a massive um, bargain for doing it. Or there's like, yeah, I'm going to get a massive discount from it. So that's what I've gone for so far. Um, it's not the best because I think when you're building products, it's better to go like build products that cost $30 a month. This is what I've heard, and I believe it. It's better to build products that cost $30 a month because then you can actually run ads on it and get profitable ads. Um, but when it's like quite cheap, it's not the best because then like you literally can't rely on ads. You're just gonna have to rely on content or just word of mouth. And this does not have any word of mouth. So yeah, I think, but if people are coming and they're paying for the annual pricing, then maybe I'll still be able to run ads and make it profitable over a year period. But it's still not the best. But yeah, I can't charge. I mean, I can't charge any more for free, like a a Mac cleaning up product. Surely not. Like, there's no way. No one will ever pay $10 a month for it. Yeah, but that's what I've gone for. And yeah, talking about viral, I didn't actually write this on my notes. We're talking about how to make it viral. One thing I was thinking about was that a lot of the people I look up to, like Mark Liu and Peter Levels, the products that they make that usually have loads of users and I guess are the most successful, I've realized they have like a viral thing built into it. So I'll give you some examples. So if you look at Photo AI, for example, when you use the product, you obviously share with your friends. This is exactly what I did. And then my friends either share with their friends and say, oh my God, look at this. Can you believe this is not real? And then instantly they ask you, how did you do this? And then you say, oh, I'm using this product called Photo AI. So that's like just a perfect way to like have inbuilt virality into the products. The second product I guess from Peter Levels is what is it? Nomad List. Obviously, Nomad List is I mean, it's inherently viral because you're basically there's a community in there. Um, you share it with other people that you're traveling with. There's just like a need to show other people the product. Same with Mark Liu's Data Fast. And I guess Data Fast is kind of cool because it's not something that is inherently viral, but because of that Earth globe thing that he's built into it. And Data Fast, if you don't know, is an analytics. It's basically like a Google Analytics competitor, and it looks really cool. I actually pay for it. And one of the things he built into it is this globe that shows people going on your app in real time, and you can essentially embed that globe on your website or just like share it on your Twitter. And I notice a lot of people do that because it looks cool. I mean, it's literally so nice. I'm pretty sure I've shared it on my Twitter before. So it basically turns this product that is not naturally viral into a viral product. And that's something I want to explore. Again, I literally have maybe 2 days to explore this because I have to launch the products next week. But that's something I potentially want to explore. Like, is there a way for you to make a Mac disk scanner viral? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been able to think about anything. What about something like share, you just saved 4 GB. Share how much you saved with your friends on Twitter. Who the hell would do that? There's no one in their right mind that would do that. But yeah, I'm still thinking about that. If I don't think about anything, I'll just launch it the way it is because I think it's super useful, and then I can like build on it as time goes on. But yeah, in terms of how I plan to launch it, I'm going to do something similar to uh, Beastboard, which is just make a video on Instagram about it. I think if the product is good, the video will do well. If the product is not good and no one cares about it, the video will not do well. But I think this time when I'm making a video, I want to connect it more to the series and add a better story to it. I think when I launched Beastboard, I just said, hey, stop using the dictation feature in your iOS, use this instead. There's no story to it. And I guess the whole point of this series is that there is a story. I'm building 12 startups in 12 months, so I need to take advantage of that and try to use that to tell a better story when talking about the product. I also want to try to launch it on Twitter too. Maybe Product Hunt, but lately I think Product Hunt's only good if you know the product is great. Um, because it doesn't really do anything. Like when I launched a product that worked on maybe 4 months ago on Product Hunt, it was pretty high, like highly voted on, but I didn't get any customers, a lot of customers from that. Most of my customers came from Twitter because the post went viral on Twitter. So I don't think I'm going to um, put a lot of emphasis on that right now. I'm just going to just tell a really good story on Instagram. Um, and then do the same thing on Twitter and just see what happens. That's the fun thing about this. You guys get to see in real time what's going on, what's actually happening behind the scene, and we can celebrate together if it actually ends up performing well. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about today is something that I did not do last week, but I think is pretty cool, which is basically what's the biggest thing I've learned this week. And it doesn't have to be related to programming or building 12 startups in 12 months. And I guess this is a way for me to share some of the things I'm learning with you. And yeah, when I listen to other podcasts, I guess I care about the technical parts of what they are doing, but I sometimes just get these nuggets that are super useful that I would not have gotten if they were just concentrating only on the technical part. So I'll say the biggest thing I've learned in the last week is how important it is to walk. So for the last week, I've been walking 10,000 steps a day. And the main reason is, I guess I've always known walking is good, but I've just been watching a lot of YouTube videos about it. And they basically said, I've basically learned how good it is for reducing stress. It's really good for coming up with ideas, because if you're less stressed, you come up with more ideas. And I need as many ideas as I can for this 12 startups and 12-month series. And it's also good for just like controlling your weight, because yeah, it's literally, I mean, you're literally burning calories as you walk. But I just didn't realize that. I just thought, walking surely is not that, like, it's better to go for a run. But from what I've been seeing, it's actually seems like it's better to even walk than it is to run, because running creates a lot of impacts. So you can't do it that often, or else you're just going to end up getting injured. Whereas you can literally walk 10,000 steps every day. Anyone could do it. It's not that hard. It's pretty straightforward. I can listen to podcasts while I'm doing it. And it's just a good time to almost like just reflect on everything that's going on right now. So yeah, that's something I've learned. Try it out. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's it. So next week I'm going to free up my Mac, add maybe 2 features to it, and I'll come back and let you guys know how it went. But it's Christmas next week. I wonder if that's the best time to launch a product. Might not be, Maybe I'll launch it after Christmas. But anyways, we'll see. Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Peace out.